What's going on YouTube? You guys already know who it is. It's your favorite boy, Mr. Tyler Grants, coming back to you guys with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me, and I would really like to grow this channel and spread the word about dating and giving you guys advice and just my thoughts and my own opinions and experiences. So if you guys would please follow, subscribe, and like I said, I'm gonna be consistent now. Like, this is something that I love, and I'm gonna keep grinding. So let's get the shit started, you know what I mean? But anyway, so today I want to talk to you guys about, to me as a man, what I think is the best place to take a woman on a first date. Now, I know that I'm going to get a lot of criticism, a lot of flack, probably a lot of bullshit. People are going to say, oh, this is stupid. But I'm going to tell you what I think is the right place to take a woman on a first date. And this is just my opinion. I believe that the best first date a guy should take a woman is a coffee date. Now, before you guys click away or thought it was stupid, just hear me out. There's a multiple of reasons of why I feel like you should take a woman to coffee on a first date. First, it tests the woman. If you're talking to a woman and you're not sure if she's into you, then the best date is to take her to a coffee date, because a lot of times if a woman isn't grateful for the fact that you asked her out and you want to do something simple first, then she isn't for you. So like, if you're taking her to a coffee date, maybe you're the type of guy that likes just conversation and you're not necessarily trying to spend a ton of money right away. You want to kind of feel the energy and see if, okay, like this could go somewhere. Okay, you know what I mean? Sometimes you'll meet women and they want to go right away into something expensive. You know what I mean? And I feel like a coffee date is a very good way to say, okay, is she trying to get to know me, or does she want like a free meal? So I think that's the first biggest thing, that a coffee date's perfect. Second thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that is I think that it's a very great exit strategy. I feel like a lot of times when you do dates, like if you're at a dinner or maybe you're at a movie or maybe you're doing like mini golf or whatever the case might be, whenever you're doing something, if the date isn't going well, you know, it's like you have to figure out how to get out of it. Like you're like, oh, like, damn, I gotta go to the bathroom, or how can I get out of this? Like you're not really sure, and it's like kind of hard to like tell them like you're not feeling it. So I think that when you go on a coffee date, if you're not feeling the vibes, you can just be like, hey, you know, it's cool, we got coffee, I think that you're a great person or whatever. It's best to go our own ways, you know what I mean? So I think it's easier to separate. Third thing I want to say about it is also, like I said, it was kind of going hand in hand earlier to the very first thing, is I feel like, you know, especially the way times are now financially, right? Like, you don't want to be going on expensive dates and lavish dates in the first dates, because a lot of them aren't going to go anywhere. Like if you're spending $200, $300, or you're going on a fancy dinner, or you're doing all these activities, you're gonna, you know, most of these women aren't gonna stick around after the first or second date. So you don't want to be spending $200, $300, $400, $500 on the first date, and it's not gonna go anywhere because you're just spending money you don't have. And nowadays, everything is super expensive and it's hard out here. So coffee date is perfect because, like I said before, in the other steps, you only spend about 20 to maybe 30 or 40 bucks. You get 2 coffees, maybe 2 pastries, you sit, you talk, you get to know each other. And if worst case scenario, it doesn't go anywhere, you spent 40 bucks, you know, like enough pocket change where it's not going to really make a big impact on your life. You know what I mean? And you still have money to keep going out there and dating. If you're going on big and fancy dates or other things like that, then, you know, it's going to be expensive very quickly. So you don't want to do that. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is just the expectations. I think a lot of times people have a high expectations on first dates. Like, I feel like you gotta dress super flashy. Sometimes the woman gotta get all dolled up and makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think this is more my opinion, but I think everyone has their own flavor and their own views on things. But I feel like, you know, I feel like people put too much stress on a first date with getting all dressed up and flashy, and I feel like the first date really should just focus on getting to know people. So when you're on a coffee date, you kind of eliminate that pressure of getting really flashy. You just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna try to look good, decent, but I'm really here to get to know them. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times a woman will be like, oh my god, like I don't know what to wear, how to do my makeup, da 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 da. The guy's doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you do a coffee date, it's kind of like, okay, like let's just go semi-casual or casual, chop it up and see. You know what I mean? So that eliminates the whole, all that other stuff that kind of goes with it. And then the final thing that I think coffee dates is a perfect date is just because, you know, I feel like it's a great setting in general, just because it's like, usually when you go to like a coffee place, there's always places to sit, really engage and have a conversation. Like if you go to a dinner, usually there's a lot of other things going on in the background, or there's people noisy, you know what I mean? You can't really talk at a movie theater, you know what I mean? And maybe you're going to go, you know, you can go golfing or, you know, bowling or whatever. You do have some kind of activity, which is great for other dates. But I feel like for the first date, like you really want to just sit there and have direct eye contact with someone, you know what I mean, and be able to really go back and forth and engage. And I feel like a coffee date is perfect for that, because you can really sit there and really engage and really focus on connecting and seeing like, okay, can this go somewhere? Can this person and me build something from this, you know what I mean? And I think a coffee is perfect. And then on top of that, most women love coffee, you know what I mean? I think that's a great thing for most women. I mean, most women universally love coffee and dogs, so I mean, you can never go wrong with one of the two, you know what I mean? If you have a coffee or a dog or something like that, you know, as a guy, you're already winning, you know what I mean? So coffee dates, in my opinion, is the best first date you can take a woman. And like I said, if a woman has an issue with it, or she thinks that's too stupid or cheap, or she thinks like she's higher than that, then hey, you know what? Everyone has different morals and standards, and I respect that, you know what I mean? Like I said, this is just my opinion. I feel this way personally. I feel like if a woman isn't okay with the coffee date as a date for the first time, then that's not my woman, you know what I mean? And that should be your woman if she's not okay with that. But like I said, everybody has their own cup of tea, you know what I mean? So if a woman expects more than that, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some guy that is gonna give her different, and that's totally okay, you know what I mean? But I think that for me personally also, I always say like, hey, let's go on a coffee date. If she's like, no, like that's not for me, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then, you know, like I know that we aren't compatible, because for me, I like to get to know you on a simple setting first before I really start spending money on you, you know what I mean? And I think that I don't know what your intentions are, you know what I mean? That's the thing with dates. You don't know what someone's intentions are. Like, you don't know if you're meeting someone that's just trying to get money out of you, or just get a free expensive meal out of you, or maybe they just want to be wine and dine and have like a really great night out of your financial expense. You don't really know what a woman's intentions are a lot of times. And same goes as men as well, sure. So like I said, for me, coffee date is perfect. And I think that, you know, if not, like I said before, it's okay. Everyone is going to meet someone that is going to match what they like. But anywho, those are my reasons on why I think coffee is the best first date, in my opinion. And yeah, anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate you guys comment and spread this channel and help me grow. Like I said, I'm gonna get better at quality and all that good stuff over time, but I just really want to put out content and videos. So anyways, if you guys follow to the end, I really appreciate it. Much love. Tariq Grants coming at you until the next video. Peace.